Hello, beautiful mom leaders. Happy Tuesday to everybody, and welcome to Conscious Champagne Chats number 62. Today, we are talking about mastering your impatience. And I know this is an important topic because a lot of you in the mom leadership group have actually commented on their lack of patience, so to speak. So there's a lot of statements around, if I was more patient, then I could show up way better for my children. If I was more calm, then I could be a better mom. And what I really want you to see, and we've talked about this before, is actually all these if statements that we do. They are basically, what are you doing? You're basically telling yourself, I am not a patient person. And I can actually never get there to be a patient person, right? This is what happens when we use if I had this, if I was this, then everything magically would work out in the way that I wanted. Now, what I want you to understand is don't just let it sit like that. Everybody can learn to be patient. I used to be a crazy, impatient chick running around, right? And so telling yourself, well, if I was just more patient and, I just don't have that skill, I guess that's just who I am and it will just never be for me, that's not a true story. That's just a story you're telling yourself in your head. So first of all, stop that. And get committed to yourself to see that maybe you're not patient yet. Hey, a beer. Yeah. Don't slap yourself in the face, right? That's why I said, you ladies are born as queens and you treat yourself like slaves. And that's not getting you what you want. It's not getting you the relationship you want with your children. It's not getting you the relationship you want with your spouse. So if you have the awareness that you're impatient, that's okay. So that's the very first step. But then don't put it off and throw it in a drawer saying, well, that's just who I am. I guess I will never, it will never change. No, it can. And I will tell you how to master impatience. So first of all, have the awareness and also that you can change. But let's have an understanding of what is actually impatience and where does it come from. So impatience is not just a lack of patience. It's not just an absence of you not being able to be calm and be patient. It's actually way, way more. Impatience is fear of a potential future outcome that you're anticipating not to happen. So impatience is fear of the future outcome. So where is that coming from? It's first and foremost coming from a lack of believing in ourselves that anticipated future outcome that we are looking for can actually happen for us. It's a level of uncertainty and lack of belief that we deserve this. And we just don't know because we don't know how the future unfolds, right? And so we have all these stories in our heads, what could potentially happen. So you have an expectation of something to happen, but you don't know how it's going to turn out. And because you have that insecurity, it's triggering your impatient button. Okay? And learning to become patient means you're becoming very true to the present moment. You basically develop a 100% knowing that whatever you want is going to happen. You develop a 100% trust in yourself. It just maybe hasn't happened yet. So the misconceptions we have around impatience is that other people trigger impatience inside of us. And that it's the other person's fault. So if the other person just could eat faster, if my child could just eat faster, if she could dress faster, if she would just listen, if this person would just talk faster, like that was one one of my triggers for impatience was very slow people, because I'm a very like all over the place, which probably is a trigger for other people, right? But for me, it would drive me crazy, especially at work, because I was like, okay, let's go, guys, let's go. Look, the project has to be done. There's a deadline. Let's go. And you're like wasting my time. And so that would really trigger my impatience until I realized and understood that these people are teaching me and showing me that I don't have faith that I can deliver the project, that I don't have faith that the things will get done. Yes, finish your homework quickly. And so what is really going on? What is really going on? You're projecting your fear of homework not being done onto your children. And so what impatience then does to us is it puts us into action. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is, however, a bad thing when it puts you into blind action, which it does 99% of the time. And it puts us into unconscious action and into reactive action that we didn't really intend it. Okay? And so another misconception about impatience is that we actually think it's a call for what we want. It's like we desperately want to get something and we want to get it now, and we're like frustrated that we can't get it now. So we go into very fast action. So we think impatience is going to get us what we want. But it actually doesn't, because it's not pulling you towards what you want, it's pushing you towards what you want. And when it pushes you, there's a negative energy, the negative energy of fear associated to it. So let me give you a couple of examples of how you can start looking of what is really going on for you when you are being impatient. So let's say you've asked your child to clean up the toys, and you walk back into the living room and you find that, they still haven't cleaned up their toys, and you asked them like half an hour ago. So what are you really frustrated about? You're probably not really frustrated about the fact that they don't listen to you, but you could, you have guests coming. Your mother-in-law is, she's going to be here showing up in 30 minutes, and your whole house still looks like a mess. And so the impatience, you're starting to get impatient because you're like, oh my God, now I have to do this as well. And I'm not going to get done. And these people are coming around the house. So what's really going on? The fear of the future outcome is kicking in, which is like, oh my God, if my mother-in-law comes home, she's going to complain about my house, and she's going to complain about my floor, and she's going to complain about the messiness, and she's going to complain about the whole thing. And I don't want to deal with that. So you're dumping your impatience on your children because there's a whole bunch of uncertainties, and you allow these other people to take control over your life, and you allow these mother-in-law to basically make decisions for you. Do you see how she's controlling you because you have no control over your conscious awareness of you being impatient? The other thing, another example could be, let's say your child, bedtime is a really good one. Bedtime triggers a lot of our impatience, right? And let's say, your child doesn't want to eat and it takes forever, and then they don't want to brush their teeth, and then, they don't want to take a bath, and everything has already been like a fight and a struggle, and it's taking forever and long. And so they're probably not triggering, the fact that you prepared a super nice meal and then don't want to eat it. What they're triggering inside of you is two things. First of all, your helplessness, that you can't get them to move faster. And what they're really triggering you is you are not being in the present moment, and you're thinking all the time about, oh my God, they're not going to go to bed, and so they're going to go to bed way too late, and then they're going to wake up in the morning, and they're going to be all cranky, and they're going to be all whiny, and then I have to deal with that. And so you're not in the present. And again, you're fearing all the anticipated outcome. You're fearing, your focus is on all the consequences of what is happening right now and the anticipated future outcome. And the way to start breaking that is by, when you realize your impatience is being triggered, first of all, understanding what the heck is really going on here. What future outcome am I trying to prevent? What future outcome do I fear? And then you have to put a stop. Okay? Now, how do you really clear your impatience? That just will help you in the moment. It doesn't mean it's not going to come back. The way you really clear your impatience is through the tapping. That's where we go into the tapping and where we get real honest with ourselves and our feelings and start saying all the things that we need to say about the situation. And that triggers our impatience and that triggers the heck out of us. That's how you clear every unwanted emotion that is preventing you from showing up as your best self. Okay? So I really want you to understand that only unlimited patience will produce you the results that you want. So don't just say, well, if I was more patient, then I could have all this. You gotta start owning it and gotta start working on it, because otherwise nothing is going to change, okay? And now the good news is you can absolutely do it. This is like learning to write. It's just a skill you can practice to get rid of your impatience and welcome in being more in the present and fearing less of the future. All right, my loves? Wish you a wonderful rest of the afternoon. Come when you're here watching this on replay. Let me know if you have any questions. We're here to talk, engage, and support you. Take care. Bye.